comes across. Oh, he does it again. Should shoot and deliver. Oh, just remarkable.
This is Kim, head pilot of Balloon Aloft Canberra. It's one of the capital's top outdoor attractions, and the rides usually sell out way in advance. It's no wonder Kim hasn't told you about the spectacular views of the city's roundabouts. Oh, and the National Arboretum, the Brindabella Range, and Lake Burley Griffin. As he always says, didn't think I had to. I mean, how do you put this into words anyway? Canberra, there's more than they're telling us.
We don't do clickbait, fake news, or influencers. And you can keep your FOMO, cheap tricks, and propaganda. We want nationwide muscle.
Get that, India. Rise again.
Robust opinion.
It's on here.
The voice of sport.
No way. That is massive.
Anything else is just noise. Code Sports. No BS, just sport. Grab the app today.
Night 4 at the CODE Sports NBL Blitz here at AIS Arena in Canberra, Tasmania and Adelaide. Our game for broadcast after Melbourne United took a decisive win over the Brisbane Bullets a little bit earlier this evening. Both of these two teams very much still in with a chance to walk away with the Loggins Bruton Trophy at the end of this weekend. So there's a lot to play for tonight. Adelaide in the catbird seat at the moment after a win against the Hawks earlier in the weekend. There you see the standings. So a maximum of 7 points on offer if you win the game and you win all 4 quarters. Adelaide can get to 13.5. And the Tassie JackJumpers still in with a chance as well. Joel Peterson and Derek Rucker with you, the NBL MVP, the man who walked in here in 1990 and lit the joint up with 38 of the best. Ruck, terrific to see you.
Thank you, Joel, and it's going to be a great game here. The Adelaide 36ers won very convincingly in game 1. They're without a few of their stars, but that doesn't make a difference. They're playing good basketball. And, of course, the Tasmania JackJumpers, who won a tremendous game in overtime to kick off their blitz campaign, and I expect this to be a real up-tempo, intense-style game as it's their final hit-out in the 26 blitz.
Yes, indeed it is. Tassie have played a couple of pre-season games already. Adelaide have got a couple to come. They're playing an NBL1 South Select squad in Mount Gambier next week, so they've got a little bit to go in their pre-season. There's been a bit of news around the 36ers as well today, so we'll get to that shortly. First of all, we are here in Canberra, of course, for the CODE Sports NBL Blitz. It's been great to be here. The weather, the sun was shining today. What did you get up to on your Saturday?
Well, as the viewers know, I mentioned I was going for a 15-kilometer run yesterday, and I got halfway, and the calf muscle said, "You're done for the day."
Twang.
So, yeah, so today I spent just in recovery at the hotel room, and it was a very peaceful time. What about yourself?
I had a cultural experience at Canberra with my good man Felix von Hoff.
Oh,
We ventured out early this morning. We went to New Parliament House for a tour. We sat in both chambers and experienced all of that. Then we went to Old Parliament House, which was a little bit more immersive because you could go in and sort of see the joints. And we sat in the old chambers of Parliament. Felix dressed up as the Speaker at one point. He stood in Bob Hawke's old office and pretended like he was making important phone calls in there, like he was some kind of head of state. And then we went up to the War Memorial. And I mean, so if you come to Canberra anytime soon and you get to do one thing, Parliament House is fantastic.
Yeah.
But the War Memorial is incredible. The perspective that it gives you on everything that those who have served and paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country have done, and those who have served in any part of any country as well. It is incredible, completely immersive, quite moving. It was, yeah, it was a morning really, really well spent, and I'd encourage anyone who comes to this part of the world, be it for basketball, for anything else. We met a few people who are from Toowoomba and are here for the NBL Blitz. There's a couple of Brisbane Bullets fans who are here tonight. They're here for the Blitz this weekend. Yeah, it was an awesome day and well worth checking out if you're here or you're coming to Canberra anytime soon.
Well, Canberra is a lot more diverse than a lot of people probably give it credit for, and there's a lot of natural beauty. There's a lake that just sits off of the city center.
Yep.
And it's kind of like the focal point. That's actually where I tore my calf muscle, unfortunately.
Lake Burley Griffin,
yes,
fed by the Molonglo River. And,
yep,
and the interesting thing they told us at Parliament House today was that the whole city was obviously planned and structured so that it is, you know, so the War Memorial, for example, is at the bottom of Mount Ainslie. So it is set within the natural beauty, and everywhere within the city should basically have a view of Parliament House, is how it was designed. And it's a wonderful place here on Ngunnawal country, and there is so much to enjoy. And today, you know, beautiful day, chilly start, but a beautiful day, and it was a nice day to get out there and see a bit of it.
Well, I'm sure these players are ready to heat this gym up, because now they're starting to find their rhythm, and both teams wanting to kind of just finish this thing off in style. Unfortunately, in game one, that was not the case for the Brisbane Bullets, as they were thumped convincingly in the second half by a very strong Melbourne United, who apparently have no weaknesses. We'll touch a little bit more on that game during the contest here, but I anticipate Tasmania will really try and crank it up on the defensive end. That's where they butter their bread, and they've been very successful over the past 3 seasons in the league. Of course, winning the championship 2 seasons ago last year. They just missed out on a playoff appearance despite going on an 8-0 run in the midpoint of that season. And of course, the Adelaide 36ers, we know what's to come. Bryce Cotton, Montrezl Harrell, they will have one of the most outstanding and entertaining lineups that we've ever seen in the competition, Joel.
What did he chuck on socials today? That Montrezl Harrell, he was announcing his impending arrival. The tribal monster returns to Adelaide next week.
Yeah, well, he's added a little adjective there. I'm not sure what's tribal now. Perhaps he'll be able to explain that to us on his arrival. But this is going to be an exciting one, and everyone's kind of getting cranked up. You can feel the enthusiasm in the building as we look at the starting five. Bryce Hamilton, I project him to be an MVP candidate. David Johnson, athletic utility guy. And both of these starting lineups need to get out of the blocks quickly, especially the Adelaide 36ers. As you would think right now, they might be a little bit talent deficient up against the JackJumpers in this particular game.
Yeah, so no Kenyon, no Humphreys as well through injury, so no Cotton, we know that, and no Montrezl Harrell, of course. The news of the day around the Adelaide 36ers is that Ben Grishty isn't out here. So the NBL aware of an incident involving Grishty at training here at the AIS Arena this afternoon. The circumstances surrounding the incident are being investigated. He's in a stable condition in hospital. And the club as well issuing a statement a little while ago. So the Adelaide 36ers saying he was injured at the team shoot-around at AIS Arena today, suffered a neck injury at training, taken to hospital in good spirits in a stable condition. 23-year-old not replaced in tonight's lineup. He looked really good the other night. So to Ben Grishty, our thoughts, and hopefully it's a speedy recovery for him. And after some really promising signs earlier in the weekend, we know he's a talented young player. He's got a lot to offer this Adelaide 36ers team, and hopefully it's a speedy recovery for him.
That's correct. And this 36ers team is very, very unified. And I think Coach Mike Wells has done a really good job in the lead up to this Code Sports NBL Blitz and getting this team ready, knowing that they don't have the great Bryce Cotton and Montrezl Harrell. And I'm excited to see Zylan Cheatham go out and really get aggressive on the offensive end. See if he can get 20-plus points on the board, because the Tasmania front line is tough. Will Magnay had one of the great block shot sequences you'll ever see in that game the other night.
Now, you've just mentioned Zylan Cheatham and Will Magnay in the same sentence, and that is a prospect that gets me rather excited for this contest, Derek. Could we see them go head-to-head and set up a little bit of a conference at the rim?
Well, you're looking at the matchup. So Adelaide is going to start 4 guards, essentially, with Vasiljevic, Flynn Cameron, Isaac White, and Michael Harris. And they will go with Cheatham in the 5 spot. So you would think that there will be that Magnay matchup that you just got so excited over.
Do you blame me?
No.
It could be good fun if we get it. That could be all kinds of good fun. Hamilton and Vasiljevic, of course. It's going to be an intriguing clash. Second game of night 4 here at the CODE Sports NBL Blitz. More than just the score, CODE Sports has the stories behind every NBL game. Head to codesports.com.au. We are underway, and the second game of the night, Ruck, has been the one that's delivered the last couple of evenings. Let's hope that trend continues.
There's the matchup I alluded to.
Cheatham goes straight at Magnay. Harris falling away. Cheatham coming over the top, trying to put a lid on that.
And right away, you see the athleticism of both guys. Magnay goes up and gets a piece of that shot. He's already credited with one block shot. He is the premier shot blocker and rim protector in the competition. And then Cheatham unable to put that tip dunk back in. Exciting first play.
Few better rim protectors in world basketball than what Will Magnay's been able to deliver over the last little while. And I feel like we need to start a little bit of a campaign. Simon Dwight joined us in commentary over the last couple of days. Of course, the landlord. Will Magnay is on that level in terms of shot blocking and does not have a nickname, Derek.
That's a very good point, Joel.
The good folk of Tassie need to get Will Magnay a nickname. I think we need to start a campaign. Hit us up on the socials. Probably go to Derek. He's more recognisable than me. No one wants to talk to me. But I reckon we need to try and find Will Magnay. He's at that level where he deserves a nickname for his shot blocking.
Yeah, I agree.
Exploits. You've got the Tasmanian Tiger out there, which that just sort of...
He's a good basketball player. Tiger Campbell, number 12 for Tasmania. And David Johnson got an easy bucket. Good ball movement by the JackJumpers. Magnay on the glass.
So if you've got a suggestion, hit us up on socials. Find us on X or Instagram. Ruck's DM's about to light up. Want a nickname for Will Magnay. Here's Cheatham outside. Silly, no dip three. Magnay's able to pull it down. Of course, the injury replacement player Campbell with no Sean McDonald. And we hope a speedy recovery for Shawnee Mack from the knee injury. The NBL taking on the EuroLeague's Giants next month. A couple of the biggest clubs from Europe coming out to Australia to take on the Kings, the 36ers. You can buy tickets now, scan the QR code on screen. Partizan and Panathinaikos in the Pavlos Yiannakopoulos tournament. It's going to be something very special indeed.
And early in this game, Joel, we're seeing the outstanding offensive structure of the Tasmania JackJumpers, and to go with that, the great patience that the players are showing in getting through sets, and they're getting quality looks on every possession.
What did you make of Josh Bannon's performance the other night, right?
He's outstanding. Fit in exceptionally well, and I think he's the perfect fit as Flynn Cameron tries to get to the hole on Campbell. But I like the fit with Bannon here. If we look at that replay, Cameron has come out early and he's playing the point guard position, and he's responsible for igniting the Adelaide offense. And it's probably a role that he's going to have to play once the full lineup is here also, with the high potency threats of DJ Vasiljevic and Bryce Cotton playing alongside of him, and those guys being so dangerous off the ball. I wouldn't be surprised if Cameron does become that primary ball distributor.
They're sort of top heavy in the big man department, Adelaide. Of course, Cheatham and Humphreys and Montrezl Harrell got some minutes distribution to do there.
Correct.
And then how do they fit things around Cotton and Vasiljevic in the backcourt? Bannon loses that one.
And just watching the combination of Magnay and Bannon work together, I think they've worked out a real good understanding and the ability to work off of one another. Bannon has already tried a couple of times to hook Magnay up, and he's thrown some nice passes to him.
Underrated part of Josh Bannon's game, his passing ability. Hello, Will Magnay for three. A little bit of everything.
Sometimes they don't ask how, they ask how many, and Magnay will take three there.
We saw him uncork it a little bit in the mid part of last season. Just every now and then, if he could add it to his game, what a weapon it would be. Even just the threat of it.
Yeah.
To know that he might and that he could. Johnson from the corner.
A lot more aggressive to start this game. He got a curl cut bucket early on the first possession, and he looks more determined to try and impact on the offensive end in this one. He's an outstanding athlete.
Absolute freakish athlete. He's going to be in the dunk of the year conversation as Michael Harris cans one from the corner, former Perth Wildcat. Played his ball in the off-season with Frankston in the NBL 1 South, averages 24 and 7 in that competition. Bannon loses the handle there. Chris Reed, Bradley Mattioli and Matty Crowley our referees this evening. Joel Peterson and Derek Rucker with you here at the CODE Sports NBL Blitz, night 4, Tassie and Adelaide. Both in contention to win the Loggins Bruton Cup. Of course, the MVP to win the Rayborn medal for this NBL Blitz. Another strong finish from Harris.
Wow, nice move. Does a great job in getting that ball around Magne. And Hamilton right back at him.
What do you like about his game, Ruck?
His balance is really good. His ability to catch and shoot the basketball. He's a very smart offensive player, knows how to utilize his skill set given the scenario that he finds himself in. And I think he's done a good job of getting to the free throw line. Good scorers get to the line often. And I think the fans down in Hobart specifically are going to really enjoy watching this guy light up my State Bank Arena. I think he can still crank up his aggression on the offensive end a little bit more. He did have 25 the other night, Derek, so I don't know what you're really talking about, but I think this guy has, you know, probably 6 to 9 30-plus point games in him over the course of this NBL season coming.
They've needed that over the last couple of years, Tassie. Milton Doyle's been able to do it less frequently last year. Just saw him in action for Melbourne as they beat the absolute suitcase out of Brisbane earlier tonight, 98 to 60. That was a ruthless performance from Melbourne United.
And it happened quickly.
Yeah, he got away from Brisbane in a hurry. Sort of early in the last quarter, Dean Vickerman put the starters back in and went, righto, cutting this thing off now. So
Magne and Bannon, again, they're trying to work each other out. And I like the fact that they're communicating without casting blame on one another. Magne's just trying to learn, how do you like that pass? And this is what this preseason's for.
You know that Scott Roth's so regimented in the way that they run the offense. If they can add that sort of big-to-big facilitation into their game, would be a very scary prospect and just open things up for the guards, as Isaac White had a really good game the other night for Adelaide, able to hit there. 24 and 6. He was 5 of 8 from downtown. Shot it pretty well from 3 last year, 41% after a couple of down years. But if he can find the kind of form he has in the NBL 1, shooting-wise, as Magne's fouled going to the hoop, he could be a really handy addition to this Adelaide team.
I agree. And he's going to be good this year. He can perform well in the defensive end. He can play a little bit of point guard, as we see Tiger Campbell deliver a nice pass to Magne down in the pocket, which led to a foul. And Mike Wells will make some substitutions, but
it's 2 on Cheatham to start.
I like Campbell.
Archie Woodhill getting set to check into the game. And I think the young bloke sitting just in front of us sort of said, hey, my name's Archie too. He gave him a little high five. That's nice work. Good to see some crowd interaction here at the CODE Sports NBL Blitz. Big crowds across the course of the weekend. Young Archie that gave him a high five doesn't have quite the mullet that Archie Woodhill does. Well, Magne checks out of the game for the Tassie DP. 14-9. Game 2 here on night 4 of the CODE Sports NBL Blitz. Great to have your company on KO and Disney+. Harris going strong to the hoop again. And the foul. Michael Harris is off to a flying start.
Excellent athleticism on the move. Shakes and bakes on Woodhill. Is able to get by him and athletically elevates switches hands and finishes with the left while drawing contact. Harris off strong.
Adds the bonus to make it a 2-point game. He's got 8 points for the Sixers to lead all scorers in the game. Magnay's got 7 for the Jackies, who now takes a seat. Woodhill looking inside for Bannon, poked away by Rasmussen, coming off an outstanding season with West Adelaide. Finds Shea Brogan, who can't finish. Right there in the number 42.
And some of these guys on this Adelaide second string are the ones that really played well in the first game and helped them get that victory. That's a foul on Bannon. As Harris continues to be aggressive, he was running the floor hard after that turnover. DJ gets a nice little pass to him, and Harris will go to the line with a chance to get points 9 and 10. Tasmania being very inefficient with the basketball. A lack of security, 4 turnovers already in less than 6 minutes. And that is not part of Scott Ross' winning equation.
14 points, they've only put up 6 shots because of the 4 turnovers, so the opportunities have been few and far between. Adelaide yet to secure a defensive rebound, which is bizarre. 2 offensive rebounds for Tassie.
Michael Harris is a young man who's always shown promise, but has kind of found himself just outside the rotation when he was out in Perth, and looks for a new opportunity here in Adelaide.
South Australian product from Mount Gambier in the southeast. And the Sixers will be playing next week. Now he jacks the 3, feeling confident. Jones can't secure the rebound. It'll stay with Adelaide. Speaking of Mount Gambier, Richard Hill, legend in the NBL 1 South, calling time on his coaching career recently. He's guided the Pioneers to a lot of success over a lot of years and played a hand in many great careers coming up through the ranks. So well done to Richard Hill, and all the best in retirement to the pioneer of the Pioneers. Ben Hare getting set to check into the game. Rasmussen across the lane. Jones just tipped it down to Brogan. DJ the step back. Rounded out. 1-point game with 3.5 to go in the first. To a good start here in the nightcap. Day 4 of the Code Sports NBL Blitz. Hamilton from outside. That's a sweet-looking jumper. It was Johnson, in fact, who canned the triple. Hamilton on the bench at the moment for Scott Roth.
And again, Johnson looking a lot more comfortable and determined on the offensive end. And defensively, I think where Scott Roth really wants him to be a factor, if you look at the construction of this team, this JackJumpers team, defensively, I think he is going to bear the brunt of the tough matchups. Got great size, long arms, really twitchy.
6'11" wingspan as well. Whoa, for David Johnson, so he's super bouncy, really impressive athlete. Brogan driving inside, might have had a little bit of help there from Tom Cubank.
And he was a late addition to this blitz lineup for the 36ers. He's done a really good job.
2 of the players with family connections to the Sixers, of course.
Correct.
Tom's dad Graham played, and Che's uncle Dean wore the number 42 in a championship before going to win a premiership with Port Adelaide. Outside is Johnson again, and that's a really nice sign for the Tassie JackJumpers. He struggled the other night, Johnson, in terms of scoring. Only had the 3 points on 1 of 6 shooting, and he's off to a nice start here.
Well, he had pretty good acclaim coming into the season, and this is not a fluke. And in fact, I'm sure the JackJumpers would like to see this. You always want balance with your scores. You want to have a number of different options in the NBL to try and be successful.
First overseas opportunity for the young man out of Louisville. Here's Blake Jones going to the left hand and finishing. Played 24 minutes for Southern Districts earlier today down the road at Southern Cross Stadium, and here he is into the game early for Mike Wells and having an impact. Really highly rated junior, Blake Jones, coming through. Played in a lot of really talented junior sides, the likes of Luke Travers, and these kind of guys were sort of part of his age group, and now after his college experience at George Mason and Montana, as well as Cal State, Monterey Bay, he's getting the opportunity on the 36ers as a DP.
David Johnson called for a sub. 11 points on 4 of 4 shooting. I think you try and play through whatever fatigue you may be experiencing at the moment. At least get another shot or two up. Got a lot to play with. And you're 4 for 4.
Had a rough night, trying to settle into the preseason. Just stay out there while you're hot.
Yeah.
Talk about feeding the hot hand. Well, if you have the hot hand, then
Yeah.
you've sort of got to feed yourself. Rasmussen, he gets to the hoop a lot. Rasmussen has cheated them. Well, he gets to the hoop and gives them a little flex as well to Zylan.
Right now, Adelaide are really attacking the basket. And points in the paint is starting to become an issue for the Tasmania JackJumpers.
Such an excitement machine, this man. In case the Adelaide Entertainment Centre needed another reason to be sold out.
Well,
he spoke to Matt Weston the other night about memberships, Ruck, and he was saying that they were at sort of all-time record highs with a waiting list and that kind of thing. Gave you a little update earlier today.
he did. Now their memberships have gone from 7,500 to 8,100. Tremendous numbers. Unforeseen, I believe, in the NBL. And Adelaide have a real nice problem down there. Is finding more seats.
Yeah, there's one thing that you know about Adelaide is when their teams are rocking, the town gets behind them, that is for sure.
Well, Adelaide and Tasmania have two of the best home court advantages in the NBL.
Yep.
Tasmania you probably put in the top 2. And I think, oh boy. And I think Adelaide are probably in the top 4.
A little gentle introduction to the rim there.
Yeah.
From Zylan Cheatham. So I'm interested in who else is in your top 4.
I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming.
Can I give you the gong? Is that top 2 or top 4 kind of material? It's Woodhill inside, can't finish.
I've got, how about I give you my top 4?
All right, yep. Isaac White loses it out of play.
In no particular order.
Oh, come on. You don't mind a ranking system. I've been made aware. Surely you can give us in order. Let's go without order, and I want it by quarter time. We've got 26 seconds to go, Sixers by 1.
Tasmania, Adelaide, and this is relative to this season.
Yep.
Cairns.
Oh, hello.
Wollongong.
Nice. I like that. Thinking outside the square.
Those are the 4.
Very good.
Red Army apologies.
Yeah, you'll hear about it. 2 seconds on the shot clock, and they lose the ball, the JackJumpers. White, a sling pass to Cheatham. Rasmussen for 3 to end the quarter. No. It doesn't go for Keanu. And we have got a very tasty little game in our hands through 1 quarter. We're on night 4 of the Code Sports NBL Blitz. It is the Adelaide 36ers 22, the Tassie JackJumpers 21. From slam dunks to the stories you don't see on game night, Code Sports has your NBL covered like no one else. Expert analysis, insider access on and off the court. Head to codesports.com.au today, or of course, as we did yesterday, you can jump on and grab the app, the Code Sports app, to get all your news throughout the course of the season. We're going to be joined by Tanner Krebs very shortly. Darren Smith from the JackJumpers to join us in the 3rd quarter. So Jackies fans, stick around for that. Some of the stats, quarter time, shooting 55% from the field, the Jackies, with the 5 turnovers for them. Adelaide 36ers shooting 36% from the field, 11 rebounds to 9. Jackies ahead, 9 rebounds on the defensive end of 5. David Johnson leads all scorers with 11. Michael Harris started brightly for the Adelaide 36ers with 9. So a lot to like about what both teams have done in the early stages, Ruck.
Yeah, I think Tasmania in particular have done a good job in executing their offense. It's just the turnovers and ball security that has let them down. Adelaide had stayed with it. They were struggling early on the offensive end, but Michael Harris kind of got them through a tough patch, put them back in the game. And when Magne went out of the game, Tasmania's interior defense really started to struggle. And now we have ourselves in this tight ball game.
Indeed, we do. Of course, the Tasmania JackJumpers in action. We've got a Tasmanian sidled up alongside us in Tanner Krebs, who's joined us in commentary here on the CODE Sports NBL Blitz coverage. Tanner, coming off a win with Melbourne United earlier tonight. Congratulations. How's the team feeling with the NBL Blitz in the books?
First of all, thanks for having me. Feel honoured to be here. Yeah, great. The goal for us coming to Blitz was every time we step on the floor, we want to get a little bit better, and we definitely achieved that coming out of tonight. So team's feeling good, confident. Obviously, it's a pretty new group. A lot of new pieces, just trying to gel, and we still got some pieces to come in. So, no, we're super excited for the season.
So 38-point win to close out your Blitz campaign. On a personal level, you've welcomed a little girl into the world in the last little while, young Hallie. Congratulations. With a 3-week-old at home myself, how's the sleep going for you?
Nonchalant, but I can't complain. My fiance Mel is doing a fantastic job holding down the fort while I'm away and while I'm there too. So. Yeah, she's doing an amazing job, and our beautiful little girl's healthy, thriving. Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
You guys lost your game, one appearance here against the Perth Wildcats. How does Dean Vickerman handle that type of a game in the preseason? What did you guys do between the two games that led to this outstanding performance this evening against the Bullets?
We kind of reviewed the game, and we thought, you know what, we've done a lot of things really well. In the Perth game, probably just didn't make shots when we needed to, but defensively we held them, I think it was like 35% from the field, and did a lot of things right. The big thing for us, focus-wise going into the year, has been rebounding, and that's an area the last couple of years we've struggled in, and bringing in guys like Fabian and Jesse are definitely helping us in that area. So that was a key coming into this next game, and I thought we did a fantastic job tidying up the rebounds, limiting them to one shot, and then taking advantage on the other end.
Well, you showed some hot shooting there in the third quarter when that lead really blew out. How have you found your development in terms of playing the way Melbourne United like to? I think you're now going into your third season there. You've been a part of those two championship contending teams. Where do you see the next level of growth for you within this program?
Yeah, for me, it's been just kind of getting familiar with the style that Dean wants to play, and that's up and in, physical. And first and foremost, that's kind of the area I've been trying to improve in defensively, just being physical, boxing out, rebounding, doing all the little things like that where I can impact a game without having to score the ball. And then
yeah, but it feels good when you score that
ball.
Yeah,
it does, sure does. Just adds a little extra bonus to it. So. And offensively in that area, like just being able to get my shot off in a variety of ways, whether that be off the dribble, on the move, just expanding my ability to make shots really is kind of where I see myself growing the most.
Looking at that lineup, Joel, we talked about it before the game here, and it's a deep lineup with no apparent weaknesses. What are training sessions like? And how does Dean do it? Does he play starters if he knows the starters at this point? Are you guys a starters versus bench, or does he mix it up? How does that look?
Yeah, it's intense. It gets heated. I mean, it's just an environment where how can you not get better when you're going up against guys like CG every day or Shea Illy? Yeah, it's fun. Sometimes, you know, we mix it up.
What do you prefer?
Depends on the
week.
week.
You like going starters versus bench, or you like mixing it up?
I've been on the bench crew now for a couple of years, and we get pretty competitive on the bench crew. So, no, I enjoy that part. So, yeah, it's fun.
Get your fair share of W's at training for that bench unit, Tanner?
Yeah, we do. We had, I remember my first year, we got a couple of weeks there. The bench squad was rolling the starters, and Dean had to pull the stars in the meeting. And like, they're kicking your butt. Like, you got to come out and play better, and they sure did. For the next 2 weeks, I think they kicked our butts. So
you forget about those little things that happen in training when you're out of the game, and you look forward to that. It's such a thing, right? Because the bench guys are always amped in training. It's the opportunity to show the coach you can do something, and sometimes the starters don't come with the requisite energy, and you get pumped.
No, that's it. But you know, it's good. Like, if we're able, you know, as bench guys, you know, our role is to make sure the starters are ready to go out and play, and that's our job. And then it also helps us make sure that we're ready when our time comes in our moment, that we're in the best shape. we know what it takes in order to be successful on the court.
Isaac White is so good with that delayed layup where he just hangs and he goes slow, and that was a tough finish with Magnay bearing down on him.
Quite a few highlights. Will Magnay block earlier. Zylan Cheatham hitting a 3 as well. Isaac White laying it in. Sixers by 4, 29-25. Joel Peterson, Derek Rucker, and Tanner Krebs from Melbourne United with you. Code Sports NBL Blitz Night 4. Adelaide fans will be watching with interest. We're a former teammate of yours, Flynn Cameron, who comes into their squad. Tell us about Flynn. What's he like as a teammate, Tanner? One thing that we notice about him in our coverage as Harris uncorks a 3 was that he is one of the great warmer-uppers in history. He's got a sweat as soon as he's in the building, it seems. What's Flynn like?
Great teammate, energy every day. It's contagious, and he works so hard on his game. He's one of the hardest workers I've been around, and he wants to be great. And, you know, he's got a great opportunity now in Adelaide where I'm sure he's going to thrive. So, yeah, it was sad to see him go. It's always sad to see teammates go, especially when you build relationships over a couple of years' time. But no, everyone at Melbourne hopes the best for Flynn.
Do you play with Josh Bannon as well when you were at Brisbane?
No, I was gone by then. No, I missed Josh. But he looks good. He looks healthy, strong. He's playing really good basketball at the moment.
He's looking pretty imposing out there. So we, of course, got caught up in all the news of the off-season and some of the crazy moves. Were you kind of watching along going, gee, like, what is happening to this league with some of the news throughout the off-season?
Yeah, it's hard not to follow. Man, the league every year just gets so much stronger with talent. I think it could go down the line. There is no weak teams at all.
That's what I was just going to ask you about, because your dad played in the league. And back in that era, there were teams where you could go to the schedule and be like, that's a W, that's a W. Do guys still do that now? Do you go down there? I don't know where you could guarantee yourself a W.
No, you can't. You can't. Yeah. You can't have that mindset, because you're right. You can't go anywhere. Any team on any given night can, get a win. And that's just so exciting for the fans. Like, each game's going to be super competitive. I mean, you can see it now. Like, an undermanned Adelaide team sticking with it with Tassie at the moment. Oh, up 9. So any given night, it could be anyone's team, anyone's game.
It is. It's such an intriguing competition that we've got on our hands. Great to have Tanner Krebs with us in commentary from Melbourne United here, night 4 of the Code Sports NBL Blitz. It is the 36ers by 9 at the moment as Bannon lays in 2 more. He looks in really good physical nick at the moment, Josh Bannon. Ruck said earlier that there's a couple of venues that these two teams play in that are among the toughest places to play in the league, as Harris goes with another triple. Have you got a place that you find sort of not intimidating to go to necessarily, but like a venue, an away venue that sort of catches your eye in terms of that's either a fun environment to play in or a challenging environment to play in?
I seem to have really good games in Adelaide for some reason. I don't know why. My career high's in Adelaide. Last time I played there, I played really well. So I like, for some reason, I don't know what it is, I like going to Adelaide. Tassie's always a hard place to play. Great fan base, loud, small. Also adds a little bit being home and playing in front of the family and friends. It always brings a little bit extra to it. So I find that a little bit challenging, but also fun at the same time. And Perth's a really hard place to go and play and win. Obviously the Red Army out in force, game in and game out. And the travel too definitely adds to it. But there's some great venues to play at, and it's always fun to play in front of a lot of fans.
And there's so many unique and distinct places. You know, Wollongong brings its whole set of challenges when you go down and play Illawarra. You go up to Cairns, you get off the plane and it's warm and you feel like, oh, I'm just going to hit the pool for a couple of hours. That's not a good idea.
That's right. Cairns definitely brings its challenges in that regard. Illawarra, the fan base, them are rowdy and they get after it. It's a lot of fun. Sometimes you got to talk to some of the fans as well. But they're always, the best part about it is, like, in the game, they're intense and they get after you and they get after it. But after the game, you know, they're always fun to talk to, and they're just fans of the game, to be honest. So, and they just love it.
And what about these 36ers? No turnovers through a quarter and a half of basketball.
Mike Wells would love that. Mike Wells would love that. Absolutely. Tanner, before we let you go, and we really appreciate you spending some time with us here on our NBL Blitz coverage, as Vasiljevic can't hit from outside. Brogan and Hamilton both claim it. It's going to stay in white. How's your time in Canberra been so far? Have you had a chance to sort of get out and explore a little bit?
Probably not as much as we like. It's been a pretty hectic schedule. The weather probably hasn't helped us with that case either. But, I mean, in terms of games played, like we played in front of some great fans. There's obviously a lot of interest in a team here. And, you know, if the fans are going to show out like this, then I don't see a reason why. I spent 18 months in Canberra at the Institute of Sport. And it's weird, we've been able to get out. We're staying in the city. And obviously when I was a little young and 18-year-old, I didn't get out as much. So it's actually nice to see the city a little bit. And yeah, there's a lot of good food spots we found. Al's Diner is a team favorite at the moment. So shout out to Al's Diner in Delhi. Do some really good sandwiches, yeah.
And you guys have been hitting the Vietnamese spot in the city too.
Yeah, we have. I know a few guys. I think Finn Delaney, big fan of the Vietnamese spot in the city. So it's always fun coming to different cities, trying to different cuisines. That seems to be the go-to, is just trying to find different food spots. Yeah, so that's been a fun part of the trip for sure.
Very nice. Tanner, all the very best for NBL26. Really appreciate your company, and we look forward to seeing you and Melbourne United out there throughout the course of the season.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you again for having me. I really appreciate it.
Really appreciate you jumping on. Tanner Krebs from Melbourne United there, part of our commentary team. Great to have his insights. Darren Smith from the JackJumpers to join us in the third quarter as well. So a little bit of a Tasmanian flavour to our proceedings here with the young man from Hobart. Of course, his dad Dan played in the league for a couple of seasons.
A very good gentleman, Tanner Krebs, and someone who I think will probably have an expanded role this year with Melbourne United.
Played some important minutes down the backstretch of last year too for Dean Vickerman's crew.
Had moments in the championship series where he came in and shot the ball really well. He's got good size, he's intelligent, plays within the team structure. And this game's a little bit more serious than as Campbell misses. Go again.
Johnson this time. He's shooting it well so far. Continues there. 14 for Johnson. 5 of 6 from the field. Tassie 11 of 22 overall. Adelaide have gone up 13 more shots. 7 turnovers to none, as you mentioned earlier, Ruck. JackJumpers have struggled to look after the ball. Adelaide have done it with great proficiency in these early stages. Magna about to check back into the game as he kneels down in front of us. DJ from outside can't hit.
He's had some good looks, DJ, just hasn't been able to knock them down. The Adelaide ball movement continues to be good and creating opportunities on the offensive end.
Coming off the NBL 1 season with Forestville. Made the playoffs in the NBL 1 Central. Here comes Bannon downhill.
Caught Vasiljevic in a mismatch, and Vasiljevic lost focus on the ball, and Bannon was there to take advantage of it.
Speaking pre-game about this Tassie team and Josh Bannon's ability to put it on the floor and make those moves to the hoop. An important part of their offense this season.
Isolated here on Cheatham. This is a tough matchup. Does a good job.
It's a little bit of help from Deng from that weak side as well. Now Campbell, eyes up, running the offense. Deng, Johnson, Marshall, Campbell, Bannon, the 5 for Tassie, Brogan, Cubank, Rasmussen, Vasiljevic and Cheatham, the 5 for Adelaide. Campbell hits the 3, and Tassie just go on a little mini 7-0 run to make it a 1-point game. Drop off from Rasmussen to Cheatham, throws it away. Johnson inside for Bannon, nice pass, not the finish.
Scott Roth pointing to the head. Wants the referees to consider some type of unsportsmanlike contact. Certainly, well, there was contact to the head. Bannon taking a little bit of time.
A little bit sore. I'm sure that'll get assessed in all the usual ways. He's a little bit slow to get to his feet here, so hopefully just a little bit of stinger in the neck or something like that rather than the head. Josh Bannon at the line. We were chatting pre-game about this Tassie rotation and how they structure their minutes at the big men positions particularly is going to be a real watch throughout the course of the year. So you've got Magnay and Bannon, who both played sort of 34, 33 minutes the other night, and that looked like a pretty legit rotation, what Tassie did the other night against Cairns, with the way that they sort of structured how they played. Of course, no Anthony Drimmick. He's the only Jack jumper who's missing at the moment. But how they find those sort of backup big minutes behind Bannon and Magnay to give them a little bit of rest here and there, given their injury histories and that kind of thing, will be a real watch throughout the course of the season. How do you think Scott Roth manages that?
Yeah, well, I think he'd be looking for Woodhill to provide some minutes just to take that physical burden off of Magnay and Bannon to ensure that they have the best chance of playing in as many games as possible throughout the course of the season, and in particular, being available for the critical stretches in January, February, into the postseason in March. Now, there's another way to do that also, and that's by playing smaller at times, as, again, that big-to-big combo works well. Bannon puts in a little left-hand jump hook. You can play smaller and get away with Dang playing the 5 as Magnay and Cheatham get into it. And again, it alleviates the minutes burden on Bannon and Magnay to give them the best chance, again, of getting through the season with optimal health. And with the imports all being on the perimeter in Campbell, Johnson, and Hamilton, you know, those guys can play the bulk of the minutes there. And as you mentioned, Drimmick can even play a little bit of small ball 4. So Scott Roth has a lot of flexibility. I think more flexibility with this roster than he even had in their championship season. And they are going to be a very good team. And I like the mindset of the imports. It doesn't look like they're out there just for themselves. I think they understand what Scott Roth and what the Jack Jumpers are about as a franchise.
They look deep. They look like that. They've got a little bit more punch off the bench than they did last year, with guys like Marshall coming in. Of course, Ben Eyre, we know, can score it in bunches when he gets his opportunities.
And also, Tiger Campbell is a true point guard. And Jordan Crawford was dynamic for them. They wouldn't have that championship banner down in Hobart were it not for Jordan Crawford. But Campbell is probably more of what they need now going forward, as Hamilton has a nice little left-handed finish. And again, I think Campbell's probably a little bit better on the defensive end than Jordan Crawford. So all around, I think they've really upgraded the roster in its entirety.
Head by 3 at the moment.
Uh-oh.
TJ inside with a wild one. Just hasn't had the touch tonight for whatever reason. Averaged 5 assists pretty much every stop in his career, Tiger Campbell.
That was a nice move also in transition.
Iowa product, played his college ball at UCLA. A couple of NBA teammates of his, as Isaac White with the reverse layup. That's a tough finish, one to come.
Look at this replay. He gets baseline. He's very strong in the upper body, and then he's able to always keep defenders off guard as they try and block his shot. He does a great job in changing tempo and pace, and that was an outstanding finish with the left hand. Go to line to shoot an extra.
MVP campaign with the Rockingham Flames. Speaking of the NBL 1 West, WNBL family season pass. Season starts October 18. Download the WNBL app now via the QR code to get in on the action there. Of course, the Canberra Capitals will be in action right here as Magnay misses and then cleans it up, and the defending champion Bendigo Spirit are looking good again.
Right.
D-Ruck. which is what we like to see. It's going to be a hotly contested WNBL season. Time winding down in this first half. Cameron to DJ. Can he find what he needs going into halftime? Cheatham for three to tie it up. No. And the Jackies will go into halftime with a three-point advantage, 44-41. Johnson's got 14 to lead all scorers for Tassie. Bannon's got 10, Harris 12, Cheatham 11, the turnover battle. A couple of late ones for the Sixers. They looked after the ball pretty well in that first half. Tassie shooting 55%. What have you made of it so far, Ruck?
Yeah, it's a very solid basketball game. I think both teams have come out and played a real authentic form of basketball. It's been tight. The defense looks much better than some of the previous games we've seen. And right now, it's hard to say who's really in control. Obviously, the talent right now lies with the JackJumpers. So you would think coming out of the half, at some point, they'll make a real strong push and try and push this lead out. But overall, I think both coaches would be pleased with what they've seen thus far. There's enough progress being made, but yet enough errors being made where it allows the coaches to really hammer down some teaching points.
So 44-41, Scott Roth and Mike Wells will go and address their group here at halftime. Another good game in our hands here at the Code Sports NBL Blitz. It is night 4. Joel Peterson and Derek Rucker with you in commentary. Tassie fans, stick around for the second half. Darren Smith is going to join us, the GM of Basketball Ops, to give us the lowdown on what's happening for the JackJumpers heading into NBL 26 as well. Plenty more to come here from AIS Arena. Tassie by 3 at the half. Stick with us at the Code Sports NBL Blitz.
Hoops Fest, a basketball extravaganza like nothing this country has ever seen before.
Great destination to watch NBL basketball, WNBL, we've got it all.
It's a basketball bonanza here in Perth.
All eyes of the world are on Perth at the moment. Hoop Fest is such a great success for us.
Floriade, Australia's biggest celebration of spring, returns to Commonwealth Park in Canberra from September 13 to October 12, 2025. Marvel at 1 million beautiful blooms as you dive into nature's laboratory with this year's theme, Science and Nature. Explore Floriade's dark side at Nightfest with vibrant illuminations and entertainment from October 2 to 5. Visit floriadeaustralia.com. Proudly presented by All Homes and produced by the ACT Government.
Fall in love with Hungry Jack's new Jack's Fried Chicken Southern Style Tenders. Crispy, juicy, 100% Aussie chicken that will have you craving more and more. Now at Hungry Jack's.
Oh my goodness! Kyrie Jones dunked all over the top of him.
Cooper! Enough screams! Time to go outside! Cooper, are you gaming again?
Build your dream lifestyle with Dream Courts. Custom professional and in-home sports courts Australia-wide.
We are at the National Zoo and Aquarium at the Jamala Wildlife Lodge, and we are ready to go inside, Derek, and handle what I've been told is some small, friendly marsupials.
No, that's not what we're here for. We're here for the big cat.
The big cat solo, baby. Davidson Wildcat. Let's head inside. Look at this. It's just a nice, natural patch. Just like a dog. We've just wrapped up an unbelievable experience at Jamala Wildlife Lodge here at the National Zoo and Aquarium. What did you think of Solo?
Solo was fantastic. So calm, but you know the power is there, the strength and the beauty. I've never seen eyes like that. Kind of like looking into your eyes. You fall in love.
Unbelievable National Zoo and Aquarium. We're going to go and check out the giraffes because I need to find something with a longer neck than mine. It's unbelievable. Make sure you get out of here if you're ever in Canberra.
And you know what? The lodge itself is beautiful. I want to come back here for a stay. There's a lot more here than just the animals. Come check it out.
I'm glad Solo was calm. I'm not sure Derek Rucker was calm when he was handling the cheetah there at the Jamala Wildlife Lodge. He and Felix had a great deal of fun out there. They've been talking about it for days. So what an opportunity and what an experience if you do get to be a part of that when you come to Canberra. There's so much to do and see around this part of the world. We're here, of course, for the Code Sports NBL Blitz. It is night 4. It is Tassie 44 to Adelaide 41. At half-time, Tassie shooting 55% from outside. The Adelaide 36ers 38%. We've got 22 to 18 rebounds the way of Tassie. 7 turnovers for Tassie in that first half, so didn't look after the ball. They've had 11 fewer field goal opportunities than the Adelaide 36ers to half-time. But Derek Rucker, it's been, again, a really high-quality contest this one.
It has, and I like the fact that both teams have really just tried to stick with a true, honest man-to-man defense. You take your guy, will provide some help, but it's been a very, very basic type of defensive effort. No tricks, no gimmicks, and I think that really assists guys in their development as they head into the regular season. Now, coming out in this second half, we usually know that Scott Roth comes up with some type of alternate game plan. Let's see how many minutes also he gives to his star bigs, Will Magnay and Josh Bannon. But, you know, I like what Adelaide's doing. That young bench is giving some real firepower, and I think this second half, Joel, don't be surprised if we go to OT.
That's a big
OT
call.
would be nice.
That's a big call. It would be nice. We have had the run of the mill here in these late games so far at this Code Sports NBL Blitz. And Tassie got the chance to play a little bit of situational basketball late the other night against the Cairns Taipans. For Mike Wells, that would be very much what he would be looking for here in the second half. You know, what can we take out of a preseason game like this? Well, we are in a game against a team that wants to win. They're wrapping up their preseason now, Tassie, before they get set for round 1. We've got a little way to go in our preparation. What can we take out of this game without some of our key players to get them ready for the season? Well, we can throw them into an environment where there's a win on the line and, you know, there's some stakes to be played for.
Right now, I think Mike Wells would like to see the rebound situation improve, because that's an area where if your main guys aren't available, well, you don't want to get into a situation where you struggle to rebound the basketball. Now, they have been able to turn Tasmania over quite a bit, so they're not so far in deficit in terms of possessions, but still, coaches like to see rebound counts.
Yes, they do indeed, and they want to see them in their favour, and it hasn't been the way so far for Mike Wells and the Adelaide 36ers. They are down by 3 at the half, but it's a great game. Don't go anywhere. Darren Smith from the JackJumpers to join us very shortly. So, Tassie fans, something for you coming up on the other side of this break, as well as the second half. Night 4 here at the Code Sports NBL Blitz. Tassie 44, Adelaide 41. Second half's just around the corner.
We don't do clickbait, fake news, or influencers. And you can keep your FOMO, cheap tricks, and propaganda. We want nationwide muscle.
Get that, India. Rise again.
Robust opinion.
It's on here.
The voice of sport.
No way. That is massive.
Anything else is just noise. Code Sports. No BS, just sport. Grab the app today.
Ziggy, no! Ziggy. That's it, we're going to the shop. Sausage roll?
Got 4 left.
New Mitsubishi Outlander. It's a bit rock and roll. This is Kim, head pilot of Balloon Aloft Canberra. It's one of the capital's top outdoor attractions, and the rides usually sell out way in advance. It's no wonder Kim hasn't told you about the spectacular views of the city's roundabouts. Oh, and the National Arboretum, the Brindabella Range, and Lake Burley Griffin. As he always says, didn't think I had to. I mean, how do you put this into words anyway? Canberra, there's more than they're telling us.
Fall in love with Hungry Jack's new Jack's Fried Chicken Southern Style Tenders. Crispy, juicy, 100% Aussie chicken that will have you craving more and more. Now at Hungry Jack's.
Half-time here between the Adelaide 36ers and the Tassie JackJumpers. 2.5 minutes until we are back underway in this one. 44-41, another entertaining clash. Another big crowd here at the AOS Arena enjoying the action as part of the Code Sports NBL Blitz. Completely sold out across the 5 days. So much support from the local community as well. Plenty of famous faces here across the course of the weekend, be they from basketball or other parts of the world. Also, there's Joe Healy doing her thing, sitting next to Mia Mifreni.
Holding court per usual.
Yes, exactly right. So Joe, of course, part of our team, and Mifreni in the middle there, professional free skier, media personality and passionate climate action advocate. Plenty of JackJumpers colours in the crowd tonight, plenty of green, because the Raiders had a win this afternoon just around the corner. Up the milk, they're going to finish top in the National Rugby League table heading into the finals. So first time in a while for the Raiders finishing on top of the table, and there's some real excitement around town about what they can do. Down the road, of course, we've got our NBL 1 National Finals on as well. Good news for West Australian basketball. Their 2 teams, who were both the #1 seeds in that competition coming into these finals, are both through to the grand finals tomorrow. So it'll be Knox and Coburn in the women's. For all the chockies, Coburn could complete an undefeated season if they go through unbeaten, of course, just like the Bendigo Braves did a few years ago here at the National Finals. In the men's, it'll be Canberra and Geraldton tomorrow. So the local team will have plenty of support down there at Southern Cross Stadium. Tickets still available. If you're watching, you're in this part of the world and you want to head down and watch that tomorrow, you can do so. Both the men's and the women's NBL 1 National Finals tomorrow. You can, of course, catch them on KO as well. So all the good stuff for the NBL 1 National Finals. Day 5 of the NBL Blitz rolls on tomorrow as well. Sydney, South East Melbourne, the first game, 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. New Zealand and Cairns at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is the late fixture tomorrow. So plenty more hoops action across the course of the weekend. Tassie 44, Adelaide 41. Here, Joel Peterson and Derek Rucker with you in commentary at the Code Sports NBL Blitz. And great to have the GM of Basketball Ops with the JackJumpers, Darren Smith, sidle up alongside us and join us here to start this second half. Darren, great to see you. And what have you made of the first half from your crew?
It's been an interesting one, you know,
that means he's not happy.
Yeah, there's been a few little concerns, but oh look, we've been able to play everyone, which is a good sign, and see DJ start to light up is also great to see.
Concerns? What's concerning you at this point, up 3 at the half?
Too many offensive rebounds for Adelaide, like too many possessions off shots, so that's one thing, and you know, just got to look after the ball a little bit better.
Yeah, that's correct, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of mitigate your concerns. I think that the ball movement, the attention to detail in the offensive end, other than the ball security, but they're committed to the process. And I like the potential that I see with the imports. I think Campbell is the right type of point guard. Johnson's come out and shown that he can knock down shots. And Hamilton, we've already seen what he can do. But I get it from your perspective. You're looking at a higher level of excellence than I probably am. But, you know, I like what I see from your ball club.
Yeah, look, I mean, thank you. I think we've got the right mix, and you know, we're never going to be satisfied. We're always looking for perfection, but yeah, we agree. We think there's a nice mix of talent and skill sets that
That's nice.
Yeah. That interior passing's been good. The big to bigs especially in the first half.
And you can see them trying to really be collaborative and understand each other.
You've noted that throughout. Has that been a focus, mate? That's a beautiful feed from Harris, and Cheatham does what Cheatham does best.
Talking about big to bigs, yeah. Yeah, well, I think, Bannon and Magno are obviously going to play a lot together, so they're looking for each other. It's really good signs, and, hopefully we can continue that.
This time it's Bryce Hamilton who steps into one. You know the scoring prowess that he brings to the table. He's played for Rostock in the Bundesliga most recently. Johnson goes behind the back there. Bannon does come up with it in the end, and he's able to finish things off.
Well, there was a high degree of luck in that transition possession. But, Darren, we spent some time talking over in Las Vegas at the NBA Summer League. We looked at Bannon back to Campbell to Bannon, and he'll get an opportunity to shoot the extra free throw. But when you look at the team build nowadays, with the ease of the spread of information and sharing, do you think that complicates it, or does it make it easier for someone in your position when you're trying to build the roster?
Well, I suppose the challenge is, there's so much information. There are so many players. If you're looking at the import global market, there's so many guys. So, narrowing that down takes some time. Luckily we've got, with our coaching staff and myself and even our players, have got a great network overseas, so we can kind of reach out to players that have, players and coaches that have had some of these guys before, and get some insight, and that always helps narrow it down.
Yep. And what do you like to rely on? Word of mouth as Rasmussen knocks down a corner three. Do you spend a lot of time on the video? Do you rely on the agents? What's kind of the weight that you give to different aspects of that recruitment as Magnate?
It's it's a bit of a mix. I think we rely on video first. We really like to see what we're seeing, and if it starts to narrow down, like between the guys we're looking at, then we'll go to the next level. We'll talk to agents, obviously, and then try to utilize Scott Roth's unbelievable global coaching network, and try to find who they've been coached by before, and get the coach's perspective as well.
Well, Johnson just knocks down a 28-footer. His stroke looks really good. He's shooting it very well. He's got 19 points on 88% from the field. Would that make you happy over the course of NBL 26, Darren?
Well, that's probably we expect that every game from him. So he's really coming into it tonight.
Darren Smith from the JackJumpers joining us. Here's Harris from outside. He's been terrific so far. He's fouled here. And he pulls out the big guns as he celebrates on the floor. Michael Harris is having some real fun out there. He's got 15 points. He's 3 of 6 from downtown. He'll head to the stripe for one more. So on Johnson, what do you like about his game? What sort of attracted you to bringing him in to be a part of the JackJumpers setup?
Well, he's got a nice offensive mix. He can clearly shoot the ball. He's a great athlete as well. And, he likes to play both sides of the ball as well. So, he's committed to playing defense. So we look at him as potentially even being a lockdown defender at times for us, And so when you package that up, he's a nice all-around player.
6'11" wingspan. He's a phenomenal athlete. We were talking yesterday about the fact that in his NBA draft combine year, he was top 5 in a lot of the sort of explosive categories. There he is, almost keeping the play alive. So he could be a lot of fun for your crowds down at MyState Bank Arena, throwing things down. Isaac White from outside, throwing things up. Makes it a one-point game.
And one of the elements of Scott Roth's coaching that he probably doesn't get enough credit for is Magnate sets a real shiver screen on White. But Scott Roth's ability to design offenses is elite. He's a great architect on that end of the floor, and I really like Campbell.
Yeah, Tiger's a fan favorite already back at home. He's got a unique look, and just fits into our system extremely well.
Isaac White creates the separation, and he's really found his shooting touch. A former JackJumper, of course. He's Isaac White. Spent a bit of time with your organisation. 14 points, 2 of 3 from downtown. Home in Adelaide this season, the South Australian product. Bannon,
nice,
puts it on the floor, whips it into the corner for Johnson. He misses this time. They've been few and far between the errant shots for him tonight.
And I think we've mentioned about Bannon. I think within this Tasmania JackJumpers offensive structure, he is going to shine. Some players really need the structure as Sheedham tries to whip one in, but I think Bannon exemplifies that very well.
Yeah, agree. Like he's hungry to improve. He's obviously had a good start to his NBL career, but he's really looking to step up. And I think within our system, there's an expectation that he's going to do that. So what we've seen in the preseason so far is really exciting for our team and our fans.
Darren, the motto of Tassie under Scott Roth has always been defend the island, and that's where the hat has been hung, so to speak, as Isaac White goes for 3 more. Not this time. Adelaide will keep the possession alive. But do you think we will see some more offensive fireworks from this roster that you've assembled this season?
Yeah, I think that was something we definitely looked at from last year. We thought we just needed a little bit more firepower, maybe a little bit more athleticism, a bit more youth, and and we think that we've retooled and be able to achieve that. So, now it's up to Roth and the team to get that right. And your point before about the ability for Coach Roth to sort of get the best out of our guys and sort of design it around what we've got. Like, we've got to give credit to our assistant coaches too. I know Jared Weeks and Mark Radford in particular. They've been big on that as well. So it's not just Roth. Like, he does rely on our assistant coaches to help with that.
That's great information. And one of the things about the offense is that 2 years ago when you won that championship, you guys were one of the best offensive teams, but you played at one of the slowest paces in the competition. But you were so efficient that the scoring numbers were outstanding. But that's a hard way to play all the time. And do you think this squad has a little bit more of margin for error? You can play a little bit faster, maybe rely less on efficiency and more on volume?
100%. Agree with that totally. I mean, when you look at guys like Bryce Hamilton, like, we want him to get the ball and go. He is super dynamic in transition, really hard to stop, and DJ's probably the same. So with those guys being able to hit the wings, if we can get the ball up the floor to them, like, they're trouble in transition. So definitely be looking to get some more shots up.
Darren Smith from the JackJumpers with us. Joel Peterson and Derek Rucker in commentary. Code Sports NBL Blitz night 4. 4:40 remaining in this third term. Jackie 60, Adelaide 57. DJ hits the first at the line and makes the second as well. You might broaden the conversation out a little bit. Of course, you've got deep connections into women's basketball. Great news in the off-season with the 9th WNBL licence being awarded to the JackJumpers and to Tasmania more broadly. Terrific news for women's basketball in that part of the world. No doubt Christine Finnegan, the CEO, has been a massive part of setting all of that up. What do you think that'll mean for basketball in Tassie?
It's huge. Basketball's really moving in our state. The high performance centre is going to come on board next year. Then we'll have the women's team, lining up to move straight into that thing as well. So it's all happening, and I think we're going to really raise the bar in the women's side of the sport across in the country. So we're really excited.
Deep.
Another one.
And a little, sorry to cut you off there, Darren, that was a beautiful three-pointer, but also a little Hallmark card here from Canberra to Christine. Hope she's feeling better soon.
Yeah,
a little bit under the weather.
Yeah, she's been a little unwell, so she couldn't make it here, unfortunately. She's from Canberra originally, actually, so her family's here in the stands. I know her mum's here, and Roth went up before the game and went and said hello in the stands.
Can I ask that question as to, I did see you and Scott Roth take a little excursion into that part of the venue earlier on, and I was wondering whether there was a family connection, because I think I'm right in saying Christine's got some work history in this part of the world as well, within the political system too. So she's done wonderful things as part of your organisation. We certainly hope that she's feeling better soon, and great to see some of her family here. And Alana, of course, flying her trade over with the Minnesota Lynx. I think they went down in their most recent game at 30-8 on the season. They are flying along nicely. How have you been taking in her progress in yet another successful WNBA campaign?
Yeah, it's been a phenomenal season from them. I was there for a week, before Summer League, and so got to spend some time with her and see some games. And she's loving that organisation. They're playing extremely well. So they've got a point to prove. They lost in the finals last year in Game 5, so they're hoping to get that one step further this year.
And the high performance centre, before we let you go, Darren, where's that at? Give us a little bit of an update on all of that.
Well, the slabs have all been poured, so the walls will be going up soon, and I think Scott Roth's been saying, it's a box. It should be pretty straightforward. So we're anticipating that'll go with no problems, and we'll be in there this time next year, running around, with the men's and women's team going in.
DJ Vasiljevic hitting a three. That's starting to heat up, as are the Adelaide 36ers at 65-67. It's going to be so much fun to watch your team throughout the course of the season. Of course, our crew will be there opening night, September 18, as Nick Marshall cans the triple. Really looking forward to seeing the JackJumpers in action in NBL26. Darren, thanks for sharing a little bit of time with us, and all the best for the upcoming campaign.
My pleasure, gentlemen. Thanks for having me. We look forward to seeing you down there.
Darren Smith from the JackJumpers joining us here. Our Code Sports NBL Blitz coverage of night 4 rolls on, 70-65 here at the AIS Arena. Joel Peterson and Derek Rucker with you, and this is fast becoming a problem for Tassie, because DJ hasn't had the touch all night. Now he's just starting to find it, Ruck.
Certainly is. And he had good looks in that first half, just didn't have the radar quite honed in. Well, that radar is pinpoint at the moment as Deng tries to light him back and got him from mid-range.
First two makes of the night for DJ.
It's great having Darren Smith here. He's done a fantastic job with the JackJumpers. And you talk about making a name for yourself quickly. I'm not sure there's been a franchise in Australian sporting history who's done so as rapidly as the Tasmania JackJumpers.
Every expansion club from henceforth will look at what the JackJumpers did in terms of an operating model, how to set up a club and embed themselves within a community. It will be the gold standard for years to come of how to set up a club and really embrace a place.
And no disrespect, Joel, but I think you've buried the lead. They win.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely they do.
W's never hurt.
At a high level, you know, the fifth year last season and the first time that they had missed the championship, fourth year I should say, fifth year this season, and the first time they'd missed the playoffs. So it's been such a remarkable run for them. Of course, the AFL team coming in years to come down in that part of the world as well. They're looking very closely at what the JackJumpers did and working off that influence. Here's Marshall across the lane. This is a really high quality game. Night 4 of the Code Sports NBL Blitz. Ben Air, he can't get it to go, and well, there was a few sets of hands in all of that. Majuk Deng will claim it. 74-68, 10 seconds remaining in this third term. Don't go anywhere because it's going to be a terrific final quarter coming up. Both of these teams with a chance to win this NBL Blitz. Rasmussen for 3, that won't go. 8-point game as we turn for home. David Johnson's got 22 for the Jackies. Isaac White and Harris have got 16 for the 36ers. And this has just continued to be a very, very high-quality contest, Derek Rucker.
And Josh Bannon continuing to play well. He's got 13 points and 5 boards. And you look at the turnover count, the JackJumpers now, they haven't committed a turnover for over a quarter and a half, Joel. And once faced with a threat from the 36ers, about halfway through that third quarter, they did a pretty good job of getting on top of them in the final few minutes of the third to extend this lead out to 8. And again, Adelaide, I talked about it at the break, only 22 rebounds. That's a poor effort. They've got to clear the glass. Steals, Magne effect on the block shots. Got a few of those. But a very entertaining game, and this is game number 8 of the Blitz. And if you look throughout the log, probably only one dud. And that was game 1 this evening, but nevertheless, that was still even exciting, and it was relatively close through 2.5 quarters.
Yeah, so the games that we've had so far, we opened up with a 6-point game. Adelaide got the better of Illawarra by 21. Then 8 and 2 in overtime. 8 and 8 last night. The blowout tonight with Melbourne over Brisbane. And we've got an 8-point margin with a quarter to go here.
And I think the spread that we've seen over the course of these games is probably going to be quite reflective of what NBL 26 is going to look like.
Yep.
A lot of games in that 6-point range. Not many games extended out to 15-plus margins. I just think, you know, teams are so deep and talented, and injuries will be covered for because of depth.
And you look at the scores that you've needed to win. So Perth won with 84 on night 1, Adelaide 104, Brisbane 100, Tassie 97, New Zealand 109, Illawarra 100, Melbourne 98 in the early game tonight. But teams are scoring that 190-plus points on the regular, and even the losing teams are having to score 90-plus. So it's been high-quality basketball here at the Code Sports NBL Blitz. Canberra has come out in full support of things, and they are being treated as Majuk Deng treats us to a 3 to start the last quarter.
Majuk Deng, we know he can do that. He's come off the bench and scored 13 for the JackJumpers, and he will always go down in Tasmania sporting history for that amazing fourth quarter performance he had at John Cain Arena a couple of seasons ago, where he just absolutely torched Melbourne United.
Came in off an ankle injury late in that season, and what a spark plug he was for the JackJumpers. Cameron fading away. That won't fall. Just the 2 points for Flynn Cameron. Hasn't made a field goal tonight. Shea Brogan's got 4. Michael Harris has got 16. Vasiljevic 10. Cheatham 13. The 5 out there for Mike Wells. Brody Nunn getting some run here for the Jackies. And a look at a 3. It's a little way off. Deng, Air, Marshall, Magnay. The rest of the 5. Magnay and Cheatham have reintroduced themselves tonight a couple of times. DJ now runs in to the defence. And possession arrow looks like he'll give this back to Tassie. In fact, Adelaide that would be, pardon me. Who did have the ball at the time.
And right now, Adelaide need to make this run. And one of the advantages Tasmania has is that core group has been together for a while. So you heard Scott Roth communicating with them, giving them some defensive instruction as Vasiljevic knocks down another 3 ball. But the JackJumpers will be strong defensively. When they were on that 8-0 run last year during the middle of the season, it was based on intense defense. Majuk Deng will be called for an offensive foul. The referees often look for that pivoting and putting the hip into the defender, and I don't necessarily love the call, but in this case, Matty Crowley felt it was too much from Majuk Deng.
2-1 over the 36ers last year. The Jackies, they played 3 very close games, though, throughout the course of the season. As Harris hangs and hits, it's been a really impressive performance from Michael Harris tonight. 18 points to lead the 36ers in scoring. Marshall to Magnay. He's got Cheatham for company. Takes him to the block, sees the double. Passes out of it. A foul on the play.
And Mike Wells will be warned about his behavior on the sideline. Chris Reed gave him the quick whistle blow, as in, take it easy, coach. Magnay got himself in trouble there. Probably bailed out of that double team and eventual turnover, but Tasmania will retain possession.
Johnson comes back in to give Nunn a spell. 22 points to lead all scorers for Johnson. What a performance that he's put on tonight, shooting at 80%, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. He's really shown his wares after a tough outing first up. Deng going to the line here, so misses what looks like a technical free throw.
Yeah, they did call it. And JackJumpers have been really efficient. We mentioned that Darren Smith perhaps allowing a little bit more leeway with respect to efficiency, but they're at 58% from the field, 50% from the 3-point line.
Marshall off the screen. Left-hand finish is tough. Nine-point break for the Jackies.
Uh-oh.
They're a bit of bumping down low. Is that Marshall and Vasiljevic, 2 former teammates?
Right. And the guy that played behind the other guy always carries a little bit of angst about him. They always think they're better than you. Ben Air having words with anybody who's willing to listen.
Marshall and DJ just continuing to chat to one another on that far side of the court here at the AIS Arena. Code Sports NBL Blitz. Brogan down low. Left hand won't go. Good defense from Deng. Did enough. Air is wide open. Won't be able to keep it alive.
That's good offense there from the JackJumpers. Magnay had the opportunity to step into a 3-pointer, decided on the quick swing to Air. Good basketball.
If you want more than just the score, Code Sports has the stories behind every NBL game. Head to codesports.com.au for all of their expert analysis and coverage throughout the course of NBL 26. Bannon, Johnson, Air, Magnay, Marshall the 5 for Scott Roth. And an offensive foul. Called him Will Magnay. Third personal for the Boomers captain.
Ooh. Just looked like a good, strong screen to me. Maybe the contact was around the head area. Maybe that's what they blew it for.
Most of them are good, strong screens when Will's involved.
That's correct.
DJ for the triple. Battles out. 6:37 remaining. Tassie by 9.
Air got the drag screen there for Magnay and starts to turn the corner, but he's really got to put the burst on. You got to hit turbo and create separation from your defender to create the advantage, to make the big defender come over and get you. But he's just a little bit hampered, a little bit sluggish trying to turn that corner. He was able to draw the foul, but now he'll have a seat on the bench. Campbell back in.
Ooh, Campbell goes straight back to work. Can't roll that one home. Cameron pulls down the rebound. Talented Kiwi. Makes his move into the paint and floats that one home with a beautiful touch.
Tough on his left hand. He's got good size. Travel.
Some real style about the move from Flynn Cameron, and now the door just starts to creak ajar for the 36ers here. The turnover from Tassie, down by 7. 6 and a bit minutes left. Archie Woodhill comes in for the Jackies.
Now, Joel, this is one of the lineups that did really well in the second quarter for Adelaide. Not a lineup that you'll see a lot in NBL 26, but one that's necessary here at the Blitz.
Brogan, Cameron, White, Jones, Rasmussen. So a few youngsters getting an opportunity. Nice work from Blake Jones to tip that one back out off the Cameron miss. Isaac White's been really good. 16 points to his name. Puts the head down, gets inside and drops it off to Blake Jones.
Isaac White has been impressive in this Code Sports NBL Blitz. Looks more comfortable playing here for the 36ers than he had over the past 2 seasons up in Brisbane.
He'll be in the conversation for that Ray Borner medal with another strong performance tonight. And of course,
good save.
Great save. White and Jones combined to keep it alive. 5-point game, just over 5 minutes remaining. White going to the hoop, strong again and finishing. Isaac White putting on a show.
Again, that hezzy finish, Joel, where he deceives the defender by delaying either his leap or the timing of his release. And he's pulled up a little bit sore, but having a really good impact here. 18 points, 5 assists, 3 boards in 26 minutes. And these are minutes that can be relevant in the regular season because you know who's going to be out there on the floor with him? You heard of that guy, number 11?
Once or twice. There's plenty of number 11 jerseys getting around in Sixers colours as well. Campbell finds a wide open Magnay. Harris comes from the weak side. Magnay couldn't complete the play. Woo. Mike Wells has got a wry smile on his face as he walks up the bench. He loves what he sees from Michael Harris, his second foul.
Magnay goes up quick and strong. I'm actually surprised he didn't throw him in there. But good contest by Harris, fearless.
He's been terrific tonight, Michael Harris. Magnay rolls the first one home. Harris has got 18 on 60% shooting. White's got 18 on 57% shooting. At the other end, Johnson's got 22 on 80% shooting. He leads all scorers in the ball game. Magnay misses the second. 4-point spread. Cameron all the way in. And one for Flynn.
Nice little action. Mid-screen. Cameron sets it up nicely. Gets on his left hand. And that's a really good finish. Hamilton's an outstanding athlete, but Cameron just too good and strong. Scouting report, Joel. Keep him off his left hand. Make him do something else.
Worked for him a couple of times here in this last quarter. 82 to 80. Tassie in the bonus from this point forth. Bannon, Campbell, Johnson, Magnay, Marshall out there for Tassie. Johnson going back to work again. Can't tell whether he's excited or he pulled up a little bit sore there.
Both. And it looks like he may have cramping in the calves. Yeah, he's ginger.
Very ginger. Gonna try and move it out. Cameron from outside this time. No problems for Johnson. He comes in and soars for the rebound. He's still hobbling up the floor.
Hey, Joel, it had minimal impact on that vertical.
Here's Magnay, speaking of.
Johnson's about to seize up. They're going to have to get him out of the game.
Hobbling up the floor. Marshall almost pokes it away from Cameron. Rasmussen, the NBL1 Central MVP with West Adelaide in the off-season. Cameron works his way in once more. Ben Ayre's going to come into the game and provide some release to David Johnson's calves.
And Johnson's been impressive. Shown the ability to shoot the ball from deep. He's got 24 points. I think he's done a good job on the defensive end. And while Hamilton's been quiet this evening, I think if I'm a JackJumpers supporter, I'm happy with what I'm seeing. I'm not too concerned about Hamilton being quiet. And I'm more excited to see the fact that Johnson's gone out and being able to put some points on the board at an extremely effective clip.
Nice to see that he looks legit. When you go down to My State Bank Arena on September 18, he's going to be fun to watch.
I can't wait.
What a place that is to go and watch basketball.
Well,
I mean, both of these venues.
Yes.
Have you been back to Adelaide in the last couple of years to do a game there?
Yes, Jack Heverin and I closed out the season there on one Sunday, and it was exceptionally good. Had a fantastic time. Crowd support, tremendous.
Great venue.
Yes.
Great part of the city down there in Hindmarsh as well. Rasmussen, Harris, White. The fake, the three. No. Cheatham and Bannon battle for it.
And that'll be a foul on Bannon as he was trying to hold off Cheatham, and that's a lot to try and hold off White. I'm surprised he missed this one. It looked clean.
Both venues are very hard places to procure yourself a ticket, but if you can, well worth getting to. Well worth getting to. Adelaide Entertainment Centre has some of the most comfortable seats in any venue that you will go to, Ruck. Those beautiful, big, deep red lounge chairs that surround that venue. Make a lot of noise in there as they do at My State Bank Arena. Sixers will be at home for the first time against Brisbane in round 2 on the 28th. 3 minutes remaining, 2-point game. The nightcap again treating us to something special here at this Code Sports NBL Blitz. Magnay goes up strong, can't get the roll. Might have been some basket interference there as Cheatham put his hand through the net. It'll stay with Tassie though. 8 on the shot clock for Campbell. Steps back and connects.
Tiger Campbell, sensing the occasion in the moment, knows his team needed a bucket, went to his cherished step back, and we see what he likes to do, what his tendencies are. On the other end, commits the foul against Cameron.
When Cameron was getting to his
preferred left hand.
89-84, 2:23 remaining. Joel Peterson, Derek Rucker here with you. Night 4 at the Code Sports NBL Blitz. Slam dunks, the stories you don't see on game night. Code Sports has got your NBL covered like no one else. Into codesports.com.au today. Of course, here at the AOS Arena in Canberra, beautiful part of the world. So much to see and do here in the nation's capital. Glorious weather today as well. Cameron makes a couple. 89-86, 2:20 remaining here in quarter 4. Johnson's got 24 to lead all scorers for Tassie. He's taking a seat at the moment. White and Harris both out there with 18 for Adelaide. All 5 out there at the moment for Adelaide in double figures. Campbell out to Marshall. The former 36er says, have that.
Outstanding basketball from the JackJumpers. They knew exactly what they wanted to get to. Adelaide actually did a decent job in blowing up the intended set between Magnay and Campbell. Campbell improvises and finds Marshall, who does his thing, knocks down a dagger 3 against his former team.
So 92-86, 2 minutes remaining. As we were talking about, basketball fans, if you live for slam dunks, clutch threes, and all those nail-biting finishes, you need Code Sports. Brings you closer to the NBL action with in-depth analysis, exclusive player stories, and expert opinions from Australia's biggest newsroom. No clickbait, no filler, just pure hoops coverage. Stars on the court, all the stories off it. Fuel your passion for basketball at codesports.com.au. Grab the app today as well. It's the best way to take in all of the coverage of NBL 26. Get your regular news fix throughout the course of the season. Adelaide 36ers fan, of course, that is the place to go in your part of the world to get the best Ties has got to offer. Plenty of fans here in the house at AOS Arena with their eyes on the screens at the moment, going through some of the celebrity lookalikes. Had the Will Magnay guessing game pre-game as part of the giveaway, and unfortunately the young kid who was involved in that, he admitted first of all that he didn't know a lot about the NBL players, and they put up Will Magnay and his 2K rating with 88, which he was none too pleased with, as he said to us, but needed a couple of hints to get that the man in question that was blanked out on the screen was about 5 metres away from the young fella. And I think he was a little bit relieved when they finally said his name. Here's Cameron with action back underway with a really strong move to the hoop using his
left hand and a beautiful finish. Faked the pass, re-secured the basketball, and great touch off the glass. Watch, see that little fake action there? Releases outside his frame against the elite shot blocker. Great touch off the glass.
Come out of the game here though. He might have a bit of claret from the elbow, so he'll have to be subbed out of the game, which is not the greatest timing.
A 2-possession game, 4-point spread. Adelaide are going to be able to get back in this one quickly if they can get a stop here.
Marshall bounces off Harris. Two lookalikes matched together on the wing. Campbell inside, tosses it to Bannon. Time running out.
Correct call, shot clock violation.
Yep.
I don't believe the ball hit the rim on Bannon's shot.
Looked like he didn't get it off in time, that's for sure.
And Campbell did a good job of getting to the paint. Bannon, not the lob threat that Campbell may have anticipated in that moment. If we look at the highlight
here on the Amy replay.
Oh, did that ball graze the far side of the rim?
I actually didn't think he got it off initially in time. He might have run out before he even put the shot up, let alone the follow.
Got the mismatch.
White sizes up Magnay.
We got a foul off the ball on Marshall as he was battling inside, trying to hold his ground in that mismatch. The Sixers made a mistake in not going after it, and Cameron will check back in the game with a bandaged elbow.
As will Johnson. Without a bandaged elbow for David Johnson. But with 24 points to his name. Cameron's got 12. White's got 18. Harris has got 18. Vasiljevic has got 12. Cheatham's got 15. Make it 16 for Z as he hits the first of 2 at the line. A 3-point game with 1:08 remaining. Code Sports NBL Blitz. Great to have your company. Adelaide and Tassie duking it out here. And Derek Rucker, rather early in the piece, called that we would go to overtime. So strap in. Just get nice and settled on the couch. Hopefully you've got yourself a beverage and enjoy the last 6 minutes of basketball here, the 1 plus the 5 for overtime. Campbell to Air. Marshall Magna, I should say, the mismatch on Cameron. Spins inside and finishes strong. He liked the look of what he had, Will Magna, and why not? 4-point game.
Nice patience and good touch to get a big bucket there for the JackJumpers.
Cameron back the other way. Oh, he rattles in a big 3. That is massive from Flynn Cameron.
Unafraid of the moment. Pulls up in front of Magnay and knocks down a big 3-ball. Flynn Cameron outstanding in this second half with 15 points.
Unafraid of the moment to do it over Will Magnay is no mean feat. Josh Bannon was the match winner for them the other night. 4 on the shot clock, 3 on the shot clock. Bannon's going to have to go to work here. He got it off and he got it in. Oh, extraordinary. Josh Bannon does it again. He broke Taipan's hearts the other night. He might have done the same to the Sixers here. Timeout, 8 seconds left, 3-point game off the back of this from the big man.
Got the ball late in the shot clock. Air didn't really want to make a play. Bannon just one dribble to his right, has a size advantage. Not an aspect of his game that we've seen a lot, pull up mid-range jumpers, but he takes advantage of the opportunity. 3-point lead, JackJumpers, 8 on the clock.
And that was very much worth another look in terms of the 24-second clock on that one. He ran out of time the first time, Josh Bannon, not by a lot. The second time, he had enough time, probably by about the same margin. Milliseconds in it. And this big crowd here at the AIS Arena is glued to this one. Why wouldn't they be?
I'm just looking down towards the Adelaide bench, and Mike Wells is feverishly drawing up plays, and I'm sure the plays have counters attached to them. And right now, I would be going with a small lineup with Cheatham as the 5-man, and that's exactly what they're doing. Cameron White, Harris, who's been outstanding, Vasiljevic, who's caught fire here in the second half. Now with 9.3, you could technically go for a very quick 2 if it presents itself. But it's the preseason. Let's go for a 3 and try and send this thing into OT.
As it stands, Adelaide would have 8.5 points from this NBL Blitz. Tassie, at the moment, if they win, will have 9. They will go into the clubhouse lead for the Loggins Bruton Trophy with a game to come tomorrow from New Zealand, who won their opener with 6 points. So they would then go with a chance to win it. 8.3 remaining, 3-point game. Cameron to DJ, wide open. Makes it a 1-point contest.
And I think too much time went off that clock, but 5.5 on it. Good play there by DJ.
Bannon gets it in. Campbell is fouled by Cameron. And Tiger will walk. Not quite in the bonus yet, in fact.
So go hard after the pass. If you can get your lead hand on the ball on a direct pass, go after it. If not, foul.
4.7 seconds remaining. 1-point game. Bannon's got to get it in. He goes the quarterback pass. He had the wide receiver in Magnay, who gives it off to Johnson, who was fouled. He looked more like Rob Gronkowski there, Will Magnay. Just go up and get it, big fella.
Now, I believe Adelaide are contending that they fouled Magnay on the long pass down the floor. Great elevation and catch by Magnay, and then he was able to quickly offload it, but certainly looked like there was contact, and it would have been more ideal for Magnay to be at the line as opposed to David Johnson.
They needed some pass interference there, the Adelaide 36ers.
Well, now with 2 on the clock, Johnson actually, if you want to play a little bit risky, make the first one and then miss the second one. Let's not at least just make the second one.
Mike Wells wants a timeout.
Correct.
Off the make. He's gestured that to the bench. And Adelaide will get 2 seconds. I think they're just reviewing whether there is a foul on the catch here on the Amy replay. So Bannon with the big quarterback pass. Does Cameron reach in there, or did he only get Johnson?
It probably wasn't aggressive enough from Cameron on Magnay. He should have hacked through his arms on the catch. Ooh.
Oh, that falls for Johnson. Most things have tonight. He's got 25, as Hamilton did on opening night for the Jackies.
2.3 on the clock.
Correct. 2-point game. Misses the second. Rasmussen keeps it alive. Time will run out for the Sixers. And the Tasmania JackJumpers, after beating Cairns 97-95 on Thursday night, beat the Adelaide 36ers 97-95. That's the blueprint for Scott Roth. And if this pre-season from this Tassie team is anything to go by, they're going to be a lot of fun to watch. And the JackJumpers jump into the lead in the Logan Bruton Cup standings with their performance this evening. They will take 5 points from that and go to 9 overall and jump ahead of the Adelaide 36ers on the standings. And again, we were treated to another terrific contest, Ruck.
Solid basketball from both teams. Coach Mike Wells, in a losing contest, would be happy with the contributions of his bench, but the JackJumpers played more players this evening and were able to get a balanced performance from their rosters. We look at that point tally, the JackJumpers take the lead, and they'll finish with 9 points. The Sixers 8.5, Melbourne United 8.
And the important point to make here is the Sixers, United, Perth and Brisbane are all done.
Yeah.
So the next team with a chance to overtake them will be the New Zealand Breakers. Cairns can level Tassie with 6 points. In fact, they can get ahead of Tassie tomorrow. They would need to beat New Zealand and win every quarter to do so. But that is the way it stands at the moment. The JackJumpers in the box seat, potentially to claim the NBL Blitz title. That Cairns and New Zealand game tomorrow will be all decisive. So Sydney and Southeast Melbourne is the early contest tomorrow. That's from 3:20 Eastern Time. New Zealand and Cairns is the late fixture here at AIS Arena. And if tonight is anything to go by, it could be a lot of fun again. And keep your eyes peeled for that late game particularly, because that's the way it's gone so far this week.
Well, the Blitz just continues to deliver outstanding basketball, entertaining performances, and we're seeing some really nice signs for NBL26 from many teams and individual players.
Yeah, absolutely, we are. So thanks for your company. Thanks to all of our crew here behind the scenes as well. Felix Von Hoff, Liam Santa Maria in our first game. To all of our crew putting it together here, to Derek Rucker and myself, Joel Peterson. We'll see you tomorrow with day 5 of the NBL Blitz here for Code Sports. It all wraps up at the AIS Arena. Tassie, they find themselves in the lead of the Loggins Bruton Cup at the moment. Will they be there at the end of it all? You'll have to tune in and find out tomorrow. We'll see you then.